What's going on, guys? Shadows Eminence here, back with another video on my channel. And in today's video, I am playing a very new game called Love Yuri. It's a Yuri game. But I am back from my break. It's been quite a bit time. I kinda missed recording, so I am recording this for you. This game got me interested. But let's just hop straight into the video. Okay. So let's turn down that. Okay. So start. Let's see what this has to offer. The sound of clinking bowls and chopsticks filled the air as time flowed aimlessly.
合你胃口吗？
Is it to your liking?
嗯。
If it weren't just the two of us here, I might have doubted whether I heard came from her. But such suspicion would be somewhat impolite. After all, she's just quite quiet, not rude. She probably wouldn't intentionally ignore others. At least, that's what I think.
我吃饱了。
I'm full. Oh. She carried her utensils and walked towards the kitchen. After a while, she returned to her room, wiping her hands. Apparently, she washed her utensils as usual. Is this politeness to avoid troubling me, or is it just a sense of distance? Phew. I relaxed my shoulders, and a sudden wave of fatigue washed over me. Family. For a long time, the word family only meant my mother to me. From my earliest memories, there was no father in the house, and no other siblings either. For me, this seemed like the natural state of affairs until last week. And now I have a family I should call father, and a family member who calls me sister. Yes, my mother and her father got married. Right after that, they went on their honeymoon, leaving this house to me and my sister, whom I've only known for a week. Two of them swiftly set off for the Maldives. How should I put it? Those two really have a great relationship.
收拾一下吧。
Let's tidy up. I slowly peeled off the plastic wrap, covered the leftovers, still emitting a slight heat, and made sure the edges were sealed tight, and then stuffed them into the refrigerator. Even though she always says she's full, there's still a good amount of leftovers, even for a girl in her 20s. She eats too little. Is she on a diet? I detach her image from the dining table in my mind, lost in thought. From my perspective as a girl, she has a petite figure and looks like she doesn't need to lose weight at all. However, I need to consider that she might just be saying it's to my liking just to make me feel better. If it's just because she doesn't like my cooking, things would be much simpler. Being a good sister is really hard. But for her, it's probably the same, right? Suddenly, I have someone you don't know become your sister. Must be quite confusing and unsettling. While there's a method of leaving everything to time, I still hope to find a way to handle the awkwardness in front of us. Oh my god. I tossed my clothes to the washing machine, and the exposed skin felt a slight chill, urging me to quickly get into the bathtub filled with hot water. Indeed, taking baths wasn't a habit from my upbringing in the South, but a sensation of slight weightlessness. Being enveloped in water was addictive. A comfortable sigh escaped between my lips. The misty steam blurred the view in front of me, turning the bathroom into a blend of indistinct colors like scattered watercolor splashes. As the slowly rising steam enveloped the space, my thoughts began to wander. Unconsciously, my brain ceased its thinking. I don't know how much time passed, but a strange sound reached my ears. My brain, bubbling with thoughts, was slow to react, but I eventually realized it was the sound of the bathroom door opening. Huh? Before I fully grasped what this meant, her figure had already appeared before me. Maintaining the posture of holding the door open, her expression seemed completely frozen. Though I had considered actively building a better relationship, meeting this like this directly might be a bit too fast. Seeing my sister standing there without a care in the world, I had to feign composure and stand up from the bathtub.
你也是来洗澡的吗？
Here to take a bath too?
我不是，不对，我是，可是我以为你。
Seeing me stand up, she retreated nervously, glancing towards the door.
啊，我把换下来的衣服直接放进洗衣机了，难怪外面没看见。
Seems she's been determining if I'm using the bathroom like this for the past few days. No wonder I've never run into her during my baths before.
不过我也洗得差不多了。
Done showering too. I swallowed nervously, speaking as I walked towards the door. Even though I tried to control my expression, what do? My heart is pounding so fast. I just took a few steps forward. Luxie, as if shocked, took 2 steps back. Luxie immediately covered herself under her blushing face and disapproving gaze. I guiltily averted my eyes.
我先出去了。
I'll go out first. Taking advantage of her hiding, I walked out from the bathroom without looking, making sure to close the door behind me. Well, this is an interesting game. I was so nervous. Meeting her in that situation, I was totally unprepared. It would be much easier if we were close enough to watch each other's backs. I forgot my slippers and towel. I stood barefoot on the floor, water droplets rolling down my body. Annoyed, I scratched the floor with my toes, but turning back now would be too awkward. I had to walk back to my room, all wet like this.
你忘拿
I
了
forgot these.
啊？
Ah. She handed me the slippers and towel from behind the door. Although only half her body was visible. Wow. Although only half her body was visible, the small droplets gathered on her collarbone hinted that she already started bathing.
谢谢。
Thank you. I happily draped the towel over myself, finally avoiding the scattered water droplets on my body.
嗯，
She nodded briefly, closed the door again. Although her attitude seems distant, Luxie is a good kid, isn't she? After drying my hair and waiting for both my hair tips and mood to cool down, I sat down at the computer desk.
这么说还真巧啊。
I opened the document I almost open every day, and a dense layer of text immediately filled the screen. Dragging it to the end, the simple words depicted a scene of two girls intimately interacting in the bathroom. Intimate moments, huh? I can't recall when I became a writer for this kind of genre. But compared to the slow start, the kick count of my works has now risen to the top 10 in this popular platform. Now, my name is almost synonymous with the Yuri genre, whether I like it or not. It's a fact. The characters in my stories are playing out comedic scenes in the bathroom with intentionally or unintentionally suggestive descriptions of an essential seasoning. By the way, just like what I saw a moment ago. The hands typing on the keyboard suddenly came to a stop. Realizing that my mind is now filled with the image of Shiyu's body I accidentally glimpsed a moment ago, a sense of guilt surges within me. However, if the story stops here, the emotional interruption would be too severe. So I can only continue right. This is just a creation. I haven't mixed any impure thoughts into it. In an exceptionally smooth writing process, I unconsciously immerse myself. When I come to my senses, I realized I finished typing the last period a long time ago. Rereading the words I just wrote, a groan escapes from the depths of my throat. The more I look at it, the more it makes me blush. Let's just send it directly to the editor. I can't bear to look at it anymore. Sending. Okay. Huh? Just as I stretched lazily after spacing out, my phone suddenly vibrated.
这种时候
At a time
责
like
编
this, the editor.
喂，
Hello?
史岩老师，
Teacher Xian.
怎么了？
What's going on? Startled by the loud voice on the phone, I also became a bit nervous.
刚才的稿子，您自己有看过
Having
吗？
read the draft from earlier,
姑且算是看过吧。
although I only read half of it and found it too immoral to continue,
老师，
teacher,
我长话
let
短
me
说吧，
get straight to
那样
the
是过
point.
不了审的。
It won't pass the review like this. Huh? While
虽然色色也算是你的作品特色了，
sensuality
但是这次你又写过头了。
This time you've gone too far. I was nervous for a moment, and it turns out it's about this again.
我看您完全都没有吸取经验教
I
训。
see you haven't learned any lessons at all.
这个你那边看着删减一些不就好了吗？就跟以前一样。这次不行。
Not this time.
为啥？之前那些好歹是从剧情里剔除过激描写，这一次已经变成了要从色色描写中寻找跟剧情有关的部分了。
I scratched my head, thought about it carefully, and it doesn't seem a bit excessive. And it does seem a bit excessive, doesn't it?
这种篇幅的肉血，就算我们这边和之前一样睁一只眼闭一只眼，也没办法当做没看见了呀。你要珍惜自己的作品呀，老师。我们毕竟不是那种只要付了钱想看什么就能看什么的平台呢。那种听起来还挺有意思的。啊？不要那么认真，我开玩笑的。沈岩老师，你可千万别真的去做。您的这部双生可是要做周边 IP 开发的作品，万一您身为作者本人出了什么事。我知道了，我知道了，不会真的去做的。Young female voice on the other end of the phone sounded very tired. Anyway, please revise. 总之，您先把这部分改一下吧。对了，说起 IP 开发的事情，最近会给您寄一批实体周边的样品。除此之外，目前已经决定要将双生改编成广播剧，上线各大有声读物的平台。听起来很激动人心呢。不过广播剧改编的台本需要您来亲自操刀。这听起来就没那么激动人心了。老师，我会尽力的。那么请加油吧。
After that, the editor mentioned that there might be some gifts, partner companies coming along, and then promptly hung up the phone. After reopening the text, I sent to the editor and forcing myself to read it from start to finish, I have to admit that this time I went a bit too explicit. And I think I wrote this while thinking about seeing Lu Ji's body in the bathroom. It's really a sin. Dragging my mouse, I selected large sections, and after a series of cuts, the remaining text was less than half of what it was. No wonder the editor is having a hard time removing half the text. It's probably impossible to make a coherent piece now. In any case, despite sitting in front of the computer for a long time, today's work is far from finished. Let's go get a glass of water first. Entering the pitch-dark living room, I plunged the electric kettle filled with water, sat quietly waiting for it to boil, and took a moment to clear my mind. Huh? Faint laughter reached me. Intermittent and fragmented. Following the direction of the laughter, I looked toward Lu Ji's room. Probably chatting with friends. So she can make
原来他也能发出这样的笑声吗？
Suddenly, I felt a bit lonely. It seems she isn't naturally introverted. In that case, her usual silence speaks volumes. I guess I'll have to take it slow. I just don't know how sisters and regular families get along. What do they do together? There's no guidebook for this kind of thing. Okay, guys, so this is gonna be the end of the video here. I will see you all in the next video. Again, I am back from my break. And yeah, so let's just hit the to be continued screen.